I called the exact direction on NASDAQ today, but I still lost 3 trades. Not just one, not two, but 3 trades today. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I am very pissed here because, it's just not a good day trading. Don't want to end the week like this because we're not trading on Friday. But let's go ahead and jump into this really quickly. Hopefully it's not a long video, but you know how that goes. So basically, let's see. Okay, here we are. So basically coming into the day, right, we have, if I go on the daily time frame here, you'll see we have this daily gap right here. Okay, that daily gap is pretty important for me. That was my draw on liquidity after we failed to sweep out this high up here, and then we made this big candle to the downside on the daily time frame. From there, I was like, okay, we're definitely at least coming down here to the previous day low, and then probably also tapping into this daily gap. But whenever I woke up this morning, we'd already done all of that. So we'd already came down and filled in this gap down here. And on top of that, we got a nice reaction back to the upside all the way up here. I don't even know how many hourly candles that is. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green hourly candles from the time that we'd swept that low. Or filled in that fair value gap. So from there, I was like, damn, maybe we were bullish, right? But the difference is what I saw was, if you come here, you'll see we have equal lows right here. Boom, equal lows. So whenever I see that we left equal lows, that's not a good enough low for me to think, okay, we're just bullish. So that makes me think we're coming up here to grab, just manipulate. We're going to take these highs or take some of these highs and then rotate back to the downside to at least take out that equal low, right? Also, this is just the overnight low and the overnight high, which I like to use as liquidity. So oftentimes we'll sweep the overnight low or overnight high and then get a nice move back in the other direction. So my bias today was shorts down to these equal lows here. And from there, I was pretty much bullish back up to, higher prices, right? Let's see here. So even on the hourly, you can see these equal lows. But let's go to where market open, which is this vertical line right here. I've already marked it out so you guys can see it. But basically, pre-market, we came up, we swept out these highs over here, and we even swept out this high over here on ES, but not on NQ. So we have a pretty decent S&T right there for us to be looking for shorts. Now, obviously, it's a little sketchy just to short off open. So what I did is, if we go here on the 1 minute time frame, you're going to see I waited for us to close right here down below the daily open. And I wanted to short right here. I really did. But I didn't. I held off. The reason why I held off is because often, once we get this nice big move down here, we do need to get a retrace back up into some of this unbalanced price range before we completely just sell off, right? Not every single time, but often that's what we want to see. So I did not take the first flip of daily open just because of that and because it was right on market open, right? So then what do? We came up and I'm pretty sure we got an SMT right here. Let me just double check though. Where even are we? Holy shit. No, not quite. We did not have an SMT yet. Actually, yeah, we did. So we had this SMT right here. We'd taken out this, and we had not taken it out like over here, right? So we had a little bit of an SMT. It's not super important of an SMT, but nonetheless, we had an SMT. We'd already seen a nice flip and close below here on daily open. Then we got this nice reaction off of it. So like here, it was a decent spot. I was thinking about also I had in mind longs because since we got this nice flip, this was a nice deviation away from daily open, the first tap. That's a decent time to long, right? Which is why another reason I was skeptical on shorting. But once we came up and we filled in these fair value gaps, we tapped in this little 1 minute order block. And we had an SMT here at these highs. I was like, all right, if we reflip daily open, I'll be looking for a short. And that's exactly what we did. So we flipped daily open once again right here. Dude, we flipped daily open right here. I kind of wanted to mark it into right here and just take continuation shorts to the downside, but this is a huge candle. My stop loss would have had to be massive. So I didn't want to take that trade either. So instead, all I did is I literally just placed my entry right here on the retest of daily open with a 30-point stop loss and to short down to the overnight low, right? Obviously, we got straight up cooked right off the rip. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I just had too small of a stop loss. I should have probably been running it to like right here maybe, but that's a 60-point stop loss. I wasn't trying to do that either. 45, 50 points, still big for me. 35 is decent, but anyway, But then, what did we do on that candle? So after we came up, stop me out, we got a nice closure back down below it. So I'm thinking, okay, we just got wicked out, no problem. We still respected the daily open. We closed down below it. So I re-entered once we came back up here, put the same stop loss that I already had because we'd already filled in this fair value gap, in my opinion. So I shorted again, trying to target this overnight low. And guess what happened? Price completely ran my stop loss. We went even higher, so that was the first trade. Boom, stopped out on those two. So that's a minus 2R there. We push up higher here. I do believe, I want to say, do we have an SMT here? Of course, right? Of course we did. Yeah, because this high here to this high here up to this high here. We had another SMT on top of the other one that we already had. So you can see we had a nice clean SMT right there. So I was interested in shorting again, but I didn't want to take shorts here until we actually got confirmation that we flipped the daily open. And guess what, guys? I didn't do it because at this point we had 2 losses. I was like, all right, are we even bullish or are we bearish? And I'm kind of rethinking my bias at this point because I would have thought we would have came down, manipulated these lows, and then went to the upside instead of coming to the upside again. You know, it just seemed like we should have went for the lows right here, but we didn't do that, right? Of course, once we actually flipped daily open this time, we should have taken that short and we would have been absolutely paid, but we didn't take that trade. Instead, I was like, all right, let's see our bias play out here and take these overnight lows. Once we take those, then we'll know we've taken out our drawn liquidity, so we can then hopefully start to see better price action to the upside. Now, on top of that, once we got this move down through daily open all the way down to the overnight lows, we hadn't seen a retrace. I mean, we saw this little, I don't know, what, 30-point move or something right here. Yeah, I guess it's a 100-point move, a little bounce right here, but that's not enough for me. This 100-point move here, not enough for me because we already came down, what, 400 points. So I wanted to see us rebalance at least to daily open or something like that, right? Not just a little 100-point bounce right here. That's not much for me. So what I did is I waited. I almost took this entry here on the sweep and close back above, but I didn't because I figured we're going to want to sweep out this low again. And with how bearish we've been, I wanted to see more confirmation. So I waited for us to kind of deviate this low a little bit more. We took out these stops a couple times. Then we got this nice strong candle with a nice closure above here. So this is where I placed my long entry on the retest of the overnight low, targeting just this high right here. It could have targeted previous day low. It doesn't matter because no matter what, price just completely ran our stop losses again. So we were -3 on the day. So there's, boom, just like that, you lose 3R. Now, it's not such a big deal because let's think about it here. Let's imagine we had taken that third entry on the flip of daily open and kept our same bias. So we got this entry right here, even a, I don't even know, 50-point stop loss, target the overnight low. You would see we would have been up 5R, which would have just completely erased the very first loss. So we still would have been up 3R on the day. Then even if we took this loss, we still would have been up 2R. So regardless, all it takes is like one win and you're back up. So -3R today, not the worst case scenario, because how often am I really going to lose 3 trades? Hopefully not too often. Obviously it's possible, but you know, not a lot, hopefully. Also, in here, not this, but we also had, let's see, where's the very first presented fair value gap? It was right in here. So this was another reason I was open to shorting this move here, the very first trade that I took, because we came up, we made this first presented fair value gap, and then we inversed it to the downside. Once we did that, it just gave me extra confirmation that we wanted to go down to the lows. So not only did we flip the first presented fair value gap, we also flipped the daily open. And so whenever we do those two things, I'm thinking, okay, this is clearly showing me price is bearish. So let's take a continuation down to these overnight lows. Clearly did not play out, but that's literally how I called the drawn liquidity right here, and just completely, I don't know, messed up my executions, just whatever. Price didn't go in my direction today. I won't lie, looking back on it, this trade right here doesn't look the best. But whenever you're looking at, like, you have a nice trend line right here, not that I trade those, but overall you're just seeing, okay, the trend is clearly down. You know, we broke below it, we flipped the first presented fair value gap, we flipped daily open, so we're retesting it right now. Can we just get a nice continuation? And if you guys know, I mean, look at this. Like, whenever you guys see this, look here, of course, we just keep going on this trend. So, like, anytime in here, you could have shorted. So, I'm not thinking that you know, this right here is too bad of a short, because so many times we see the trend just continue down to the draw on liquidity. So, overall, I'm not super pissed about the performance. I'm just pissed about, you know, the results. So, take that for what you will. Just want to give you guys real data on what's going on these trades. But again, I have been staying off of Discord the entire session, so it's not even influencing my trades at all. This is all just me doing this shit. So I want to keep doing that because it's just giving me the best opportunity to succeed in trading instead of sitting on Discord, taking in other biases, etc., etc. It's much better for me to do this and go back and recap afterwards. So I hope you guys learned something. That's going to be it for me today. Honestly, probably it for me on the week. Might run up a vlog this weekend. It's the 4th of July. You get some of that. There's going to be more active on the YouTube channel here because I completely deleted TikTok. If you guys want to know a little bit about that, I was doing TikTok shop and I've been banned on 6 accounts, over $4,000 stuck in my accounts. So that's what I got to say. A TikTok shop, not doing that anymore. Just going to lock in on YouTube, lock in on trading, and probably honestly get a job because, you know, can't get paid any other way. And until trading starts being consistent, we're just going to stay locked here. And who cares? Even once I start getting some payouts, more payouts, I already have some. But once I get more payouts, you know, it's all good. Once we get more payouts and we're working, we'll just have double the bread. So it's all good. But anyway, that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys had a better day trading than me. Clearly, the draw on liquidity was lower. Just kind of messed up my entries. Didn't get the best entry and got rinsed today. But it's all good. We'll be back Monday for more trades. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.